myself into the urgent care today. John is not here at the moment. He's coming on his way back up, but I felt the need to go in and get myself checked out just to make sure I don't have pneumonia and to get more albuterol. I slept almost all day yesterday. Was not feeling well, so it's always good to get things checked out. So I'm headed into urgent care right now and gonna do that. I have so many projects I want to work on at the moment, and I just do not have the energy to hardly move. So we need to get myself back up again. Luckily, we don't have any plans or anything at the moment, so it's just a time where nothing else is, demanding anything from me, which is good. I did get a bunch of emails this morning about Lauren from Hidden True Crime. People alerting me. She was on a very long live stream yesterday. I really like her. I watched her a lot during, I haven't really followed the Lori Vallow one, but that dentist one, I was concerned about her, just her well-being, because she was jumping from like Utah. I think she covered the Koberger stuff. I think that dentist was in Colorado, down to Arizona, back. I mean, she was moving so quickly and dramatically and in all these murder courtrooms. And I just thought this just, and it's not like she's got a huge team, around her. And I thought this just has got to be incredibly, incredibly stressful and demanding and taking a toll. I was concerned about her. I really have enjoyed her content, and I watched her and think she's a straight up person. And yes, it was very familiar what she was talking about on her live stream about being stalked and harassed and bullied. She chose to take it to into the legal arena. I mean, there's all different ways that you can handle this. I just chose to pursue the what's the best for my mental health, and because I had started ignoring it and blocking it for so early on, that I knew, oh my God, you guys, this scenery is just so beautiful. The trees are finally really turning bright red and orange and yellow. It's been slow to get there, which is fine because it's slow for my dahlias too. They're still having a fighting chance out there. See, I need to get down and pick dahlias. I just haven't even felt well enough to do that. Anyway, back to Lauren. Not sure where I left off, but she chose to confront it head on. And when you do that, you have to expose yourself to all of it. So it's almost like to get over this, to get this toxicity out of your life, you have to jump into the cesspool of toxicity. And I chose not to do that. And I think I'm doing well. She sounds like she's been dealing with it for about 6 months. For me, it's been over a year. I don't know what's going on. Very rarely do they still pop into my online presence, but I shut a lot of stuff down so they don't have access to it. I don't know about if the Reddit things are still going on. I don't look over there. So, but people, like I've said before, they can't stop this. They have committed to this train, and whatever is driving it in them, they're unable to stop it. A few have. Somebody recently told me that she was so influenced really by some of the stuff they were saying, that she was looking up shop collars to see if it's like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how much you prove or whatever, it's always going to be spun in a way that makes you look the absolute worst. And actually anything that you do to defend yourself is going to be weaponized against you, because these people are really at the core desperately wanting your attention. I will not be ignored, Dan. Think of Alex in Fatal Attraction and broad brush stroke this. But the thing that I watched a very little bit of her live stream. I think she was on there for like 9 hours or something. I mean, clearly she's needed to vent about it and needed to tell her side of the story. And I related to so much of it. Like, it's very hard to explain, like what I would say to Lauren. And when I'm feeling better, I'll find a way to reach out to her, because I have learned quite a bit about how to navigate this. What I've said is, some people think where there's smoke, there's fire. And in those kind of situations, there can also be an arsonist hiding behind a tree, snickering with a lit match. And, but, you know, people have short attention spans and stuff, and they just think, oh my God, I had no idea she was like this, you know. And so the bottom line is, not everybody's going to think that way about you. I have a video on here that I made months ago in March that probably gets 100 hits a week on it still. And I mean, it's so old, that video, because people are interested in what happened. I told like a tiny piece of my end of it, addressed it, and it's the most viewed video on this channel, and it has close to like 500 likes now. You know, it's the only one that I pop in occasionally to look at the analytics on, because it's interesting to me how much people are interested in that topic. You know, like I've said before, there's the people that are perpetrating it. There are the people that never really wanted you to succeed anyway, so they were already sort of hate watchers, so they're happy to jump right into that stream. And then there's the people that are just watching for entertainment value. It's an interesting choice of how to use your time to be entertained by that, but it's true. It's what happens. And so I related to so much. And the other thing that I was, a takeaway from just like this short, well, a couple of things, the short piece is that, first of all, how scared she was. Trust me, I understand that. You don't know when people are having that kind of a reaction, and it seems to me to be always around boundaries. When you've set a boundary on that person, or you've taken a step back and they perceive a rejection, that kind of personality, I will not be ignored. I don't, what is that one thing? I don't get mad, I get even. This kind of personality, that seems to be the trigger for this kind of personality. And they're all over the internet, these people. I think they also have just sort of like a predictable game plan, because the thing she was describing was like, yep, check. Like, it made me think, are these the same people that came for me? And they might be, because they're in the true crime community. I think I don't know, I mean, maybe there's people like this in the chicken soup community, I don't know. But I think there's quite a few in the true crime community. And they're playing by the same playbook. They do the Reddit thing, they create the Reddit, because they can thrive over there. They can create a little toxic waste dump where they can, circle jerk it out over there and have fun with it. They will, the smear campaigns are just like, I did say circle jerk. Anything that's untoward, just know that I'm sick right now. I can't laugh. I keep telling my husband, like, stop making me laugh. We watched Spy the other night. That's one of my comfort movies with Melissa McCarthy. I'm not sure I can watch this movie because it keeps triggering my cough, but it's so freaking funny. Anyway, they all run by the same playbook, and I was left thinking, I wonder how many of these people have overlapped over to Lauren, because they sort of get bored. The other thing is that I will reach out to Lauren with some of these thoughts, is that she was trying to respond at some point and to determine what her role in it was, like I did, and try to sort of work it out with the person. But this is not what you're dealing with here. These are not normal people that you can do that with. So, so she was apologizing and falling on. Even that will be weaponized against you. So you just have to sever it. You just have to snip it, sever it. She gave it her shot. It's really sort of sad what happened. I don't want to repeat it all here. Seeking a stalking injunction against this person, who's also created, it sounds like, a little posse around herself, like what happened with me. And what I would say to Lauren is that not everybody is going to believe this about you. And the people that do, you have to let them go. Because people that are willing to believe things the worst allegations about you. They're, for the most part, complete and total fabrications. These are not people that you would ever want around you, and that you would, because not everybody goes there. It's sort of appalling to think, well, it's like the Adelsons. It's like they're living in this delusional world and they're enjoying it. That like, oh, here's another salacious thing that, they just pull out of thin air. And this, well, this person knows her. She did this thin air, I don't need to relitigate any of it. It's just the level of just fabrication, and of course it keeps getting more and more and more depraved as the stories get, as the people get more into it. They really get off on doing this. They're enjoying doing this, and they have fun with it. And you just have to know that there is no hope for any kind of rational engagement or working it out or anything like that. You just have to, because this has taken a real toll on her mental health, and apparently her 8-year-old kid. I mean, our daughter got pulled into it too, and her mother and whatnot. And that's when you really start getting scared, because you don't know people like this, their limits. You don't know if they're gonna show up on your doorstep and steal your kid and take them to a roller coaster ride, like on that movie Fatal Attraction. I mean, I didn't know there was so much vitriol about me and our puppy that I didn't know if somebody was going to be triggered to come and, rescue my dog. You start getting very jumpy when the doorbell rings. I mean, you just don't know what the limits are of these people. And it's a very intense, scary place to live, but you have to carve out a safe place for yourself that does not include any of these people in it, and that means you can't expose yourself to it at all. You got to tell people, don't bring it to me, I don't care, I don't want to know. I mean, I've been saying that for over a year. Bring only things to me that if there are threats that need to be taken seriously, and we have a plan for that, but in place. And there's people that know that this is out there, this has been going on out there, and safety wise and stuff like that. But other than that, Lauren, if by some reason you're seeing this, it's important that you create your own safe space. These people will never be part of it, ever. They will never let this go. They are feeling triumphant at knocking you off some pedestal that they put you on. And this is how they operate. And they are much better at doing this than you are at defending yourself to it. You were clearly blindsided by this. I relate to that. You start deploying coping tactics that would normally work with normal interactions with people that actually are completely counterintuitive, and things like this. They actually make this stuff worse. There is one and only one response, which is to sever, block, completely disengage. It sounds like that she's done what she needed to do in the legal arena, and let the chips fall. She has a much wider audience, a much bigger channel. This is like her livelihood and all that. So, this kind of defamation is more impactful to her, and they're not going to stop. That sounds very defeatist of me to say that, but it's true, because but what they will get is, over time, they'll just find another target, and they'll enjoy this behavior by doing it with somebody else. Let them feel victorious. Let them feel like they destroyed you as you're just going along your merry way, enjoying your life. Let them feel whatever they need to feel that soothes this motivation that they have to do this. But this is a type of person, including the little posses they form around themselves. And trust me, they're small. They're loud, and they're strong and wrong. They're loud voices, but they're small numbers. This I know for sure. And I mean, I have had a very small channel. I mean, Lauren, if you happen to see this, I did have a true crime channel of about 8,000 subscribers that I shut down completely. And I shut it down out of self-preservation, because I was it was scary, so I relate to the fear in your voice that I saw on your video, and I want to validate that it's real, it's terrorism, and it's normal to feel terrorized, to feel terror when you're being terrorized. That is a normal response. And even with that, you have there's the one solution, I'm going to keep saying this, is to create a wall, create a place where you can be safe. Not everyone belongs in there, clearly, and recover in there, recover in that safe space, learn what you needed to learn. It sounds like you did what I did, which was oversharing with the wrong people. That's another thing that Lauren said was her private texts and stuff being made public. That happened to me too. And people that are willing to do that says a lot about that character of that person. I have a lot of texts from that same person. I have a lot of emails from someone else who's also been, making their case against me by posting private emails. I haven't done any of it. The stuff that I've posted has been publicly, has been my end of it, my end of the equation. So, not everybody rolls that way, and don't allow this toxic behavior to infect you where you start behaving like them, which is out of character for yourself. So it's easy to knee jerk it and react, and that is exactly what they're wanting. And maybe you can use that as fuel, don't give them what they want, but it doesn't help you to step out of your own character, to do things that are that are in kind of what they're doing to you. So yes, I did see a portion of that. I'm not surprised. I mean, this is an epidemic, you guys, online. And I will say that it's, from what I've run into, it's mostly women that it's happening to, and it's mostly being perpetrated on women by women. And there's a certain demographic that is doing this. So there's just clearly a lot of unhappy people, and they can't handle anybody else's success. And so it seemed like with Lauren, and it seemed like with me too, they see you having a degree of success and they want to get close to that flame, and you're just trying to manage being in this world that maybe you didn't anticipate. I certainly didn't. And they want to get close to that flame, but when they don't end up getting from you what they expect, and usually that's attention, validation, whatever, they can turn on a dime. And these are people that have learned that in their life, I hate you, don't leave me. And anyway, I don't want to keep going on and on about this, but I did get the emails from you guys. I don't have the bandwidth to reply. I wish I hadn't gone this way because I'm now having to stop for construction. To everybody, but thanks for alerting me to that, and I will reach out to Lauren with some things that I learned going through this. It's very intense. Part of what makes it so intense is that you don't have a lot of support out there. There's not systems in place that are going to support you. And so when you go to these, where it's happening online, to these, websites or whatever, YouTube, Reddit, whatever, and you go to them to make a report, they don't do anything generally. And so that's really your only recourse, is to report this stuff. So they have policies in place about cyber harassment and bullying and stalking and things like that, cyber stalking, which in my case, it absolutely has completely fit all the criteria for that. And sounds the same with Lauren. But they don't enforce those, because this kind of behavior is, bringing the bullies to the schoolyard, and they are getting money off of it. So, and in some cases, the people that are initiating this are getting money off of it too. So that's a motivator. But I think that's something deeper. I think it's not always money driven. I think that's a piece of it, but there is this personality type of, they just can't let go, and they are, you won't leave me. And if I even perceive that you are, I will set out to destroy you. And she said that, you know, they set out to destroy me. That is what it feels like. You know, when, like, I read that article about that Sid Toll, you know, a 25-year-old woman with stage 4 cancer, and there's comments about, like, gleefully hoping she offs herself. You know, like, they would, I mean, it's hard to even imagine this, that there are people that think like that and act like that, but I'm sure that there are many people that have been involved in this campaign against me have had those same thoughts and probably comments, like wishing that on me. Good luck with that. And I would say to Lauren too, or any of you who have been targeted like this, is to reflect on things in your life that you've already gotten over, that have built resilience in you. And I think Lauren, I don't know much about her backstory, but I think she is a abuse survivor. So she's already gotten over that, which, by the way, is part of the targeting. They're frequently looking for someone who has shared vulnerability around stuff like that. Man, that is, they're moth to a flame with that stuff. So I think reflect on the things in your life that you've already gotten over, recovered from, and know that resilience is still in you. That resilience is feeding you right now. That resilience is unshakable. That resilience has nothing to do with these people or what they're doing or what they're saying or anything like that. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. They can't touch that. They can't shake that. And it puts things in perspective as to how small this is and how small these people are. They might be loud, but they're small. Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson stood up in that courtroom, man, with that wrong and strong, loud, adamant voices, and she's still going to prison for life. So it is appalling as it is to see this stuff and to be on the receiving end of this stuff. There are consequences to it, and there is a truth and reality about it. So anyway, thanks for keeping me company. I'm almost to this urgent care. I'm actually feeling a little bit better now that I'm talking, which is usually not the case. So thanks for sending me that about Lauren, and I will find a way to reach out to her probably when I'm feeling a little bit better. And I will catch up with you guys soon.